All right, there's a definite shift happening in the Panama City Beach condo market. The numbers are in for the second quarter of 2022. I'm Craig Duran with the Duran Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Let's get into these numbers. There's a pretty big shift happening in the condo market, so I'm going to throw a lot of data at you here pretty quickly. Now let's start with this chart. This represents our supply. This is the number of units for sale over time in Panama City Beach, the entire Gulf Front condo market. And if you take a look at what's happened recently, just in the last few months. We've really exploded. There are a lot more units for sale. We're now back to having more condos available for buyers to purchase than before the pandemic even started. Let me show you a different group of numbers. Remember, I'm a big months of inventory guy. And for those of you who don't know, remember, months of inventory is a good way for us to understand the pace of the market. 4 or 5 months of inventory generally represents a neutral or normal market. If you take a look specifically and see what's happened, this is pretty dramatic. I want to get these numbers right. So in January, we're at 0.77 months of inventory. Theoretically, that means the entire Gulf Front market would sell out in less than a month. Or if you were putting a unit up for sale, you would expect to sell it very, very quickly. But look at what's happened in just a few months in 2022. We've gone from 0.77 to 0.93 to 0.83, 1.51, 2.08, and 4.04. Look at that explosion in just the last 3 months. We've now gone from less than 1 month of inventory in March to over 4 months of inventory in June. We're over 4 times slower than we were just a few months ago. Really putting the brakes on the market back to a much more neutral market than we were in very, very hot seller market territory. One last way to look at this, take a look at these numbers. This represents, or this is the count of the number of units for sale. So if you're a buyer in January, you had 85 choices, only 85 choices across the entire beach. Now think about that. Studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedroom condos, and the few 4 bedrooms that we have in all of the buildings across the beach, buyers only had 85 condos to choose from. They now have 275 condos to choose from. So get in the mindset of a buyer for just a second. Buyers can be a little bit more patient. What do you think about a seller? Seller probably has to be a little bit better about pricing. Market fundamentals are going to really start to take over now that we're more of a neutral sort of balanced market. All right, 2 more important numbers I want you to consider. In the second quarter of 2022, we wrote 37% fewer contracts on condos than we did quarter 2 2021. We also had 42% fewer closings on condos. Not surprising, those obviously are going to go together. So put all these numbers together, and it's pretty clear we have less demand in the condo market, we have more supply. I want to stress right now at 4.04 months of inventory, we're at a very balanced market. Sure, we've cooled down, but we've cooled down again from an extremely hot market. Some will say we haven't seen it that hot in decades. We want to watch these trends and see where we're going. For now, we would expect price appreciation to really cool off. I want to watch these numbers over the next month or 2. If we keep drifting up into 5, 6, 7, 8 months of inventory, we could be talking about getting into a buyer market. At that point, we could see some pressure on pricing. But for now, pricing should even out. The pace of things should be a little bit more normal. I hope you guys really learn a lot from these numbers. We are seeing a pretty dramatic shift in things. Again, I'm Craig Duran with the Duran Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Thanks for watching.